Stanley? No, Stanley!
Miss Barnes, I am Inspector Smith.
Please, Mitzi, Inspector Smith.
That's Smith.
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 Smith. Inspector, I
know this is hard for you, but we must investigate immediately to find the culprit of this heinous crime. So please tell me from the beginning.
Okay. Well, Stanley and I had our third date last night. He took me dancing at that cool new club that looks like a house. You know, the one in Ukaipa?
Of course, I know about that. I am in law enforcement. Please go on.
Well, it was crowded, I guess, but I only saw Stanley. It's like we were alone on the planet. He said he felt the same.
Yes, I'm tearing up here, Miss Barnes, but if you could move it along.
We left there after probably an hour or so and went to the beach to cool down.
And what time was that?
About midnight, I think.
And after you frolicked on the sand?
I invited him back here.
I see. And then what happened?
Well, we
What happened?
we made love.
What time did he finish?
What?
What time did you two finish making love?
I'd say he left around 2:30.
Not bad, so...
Inspector Smith.
Smith!
Inspector! I didn't hear anything. How could it have happened right out there and I didn't even know it?
Not to worry. We shall figure it out with the clues we have. Ah.
What is it, Inspector?
If I am not mistaken, the body was dumped right here. It appears he was torched. If you look closely, you can see the melt marks. That was nothing. His limbs were broken and he was dragged on the concrete. You can see the abrasion marks here.
Poor bastard.
The question now becomes, why would somebody do this to Stanley?
All finished here, Inspector.
Good. We will now question the bouncer from the club. When did Mitzi and Stanley leave the club?
I tell you the truth, I just don't know nothing.
You don't know nothing? That is an original line, Monsieur Weiss.
Sweetheart, it's rice.
That is what I said, Weiss. Now, what time did these two leave the club last night?
Jeez, I don't know, but it was pretty early. I mean, the party was just barely getting started.
And why do you say that?
Because Woody had just gotten there, man. I mean, everyone knows that Woody is where the party is at.
Of course I know that. I am in law enforcement. So, Mr. Woody had just gotten there, and these two left?
Woody? Yeah, he left pretty quickly, too.
And how might I read this Woody?
I'm trying to explain to you that he is only the most hip-hop of the hip-hop rappers, living the in-between, if you know what I'm saying.
Ah, yes, the in-between. Thank you for your cooperation, Monsieur Woody.
That's Woody, my man.
That's what I said. Now, what time did you arrive at Club Ukaipa?
Well now, Inspector, we arrived a little earlier than planned, you see, because the club we was going to before had a little accident.
What kind of accident?
It burned down. Shame, too, since I own it. So you see, we dealt with the cops and then went to Club Ukaipa at around, maybe like 11:45.
Did you happen to see these two in there?
Nah, man. I get taken up to the VIP section so as I don't have to deal with, well, you know.
Of course. Is there anything you can think of about last night that was unusual?
Now that you mention it, yeah. We was slamming them down and talking, and that's when this dude starts tripping and yelling at the waitress below. One of my favorites, if you know what I mean. Yeah, it was totally bass. So I tell my main man here to check it out, but the dude left before he got down there.
I see. And what did he look like?
Kinda shiny looking, you know? Like he was greased up or something.
That is helpful.
Yo.
If you think of anything else of interest, please let me know.
Alright, keep it loose, man.
Keep what loose?
What do you want?
Monsieur Shorts Découpu.
Who's asking?
We are with the police and would like to ask you some questions about last night.
Ah, tweezers. I never touched that waitress.
So you do admit you were at the club, you Kuiper?
Since I didn't do nothing, I got no problem admitting it.
Good. Now, we understand you left the club at about 12 a.m. in a half. Where did you go after that?
Where did I go? I took a drive.
I see. And is there anyone who can verify this?
I don't see why you need to know.
Someone was murdered, Monsieur Charles Del Compost, and you happened to leave the very same club at the very same time.
No, man. I didn't do nothing. All right, look. I'll tell you where I went. Oh, jeez, this is hard. I went to confession, if you gots to know.
Confession? And why did you do that?
Well, that's why I yelled at the waitress, you see? Look, here's what happened. I ordered the spring roll appetizer at the club, and the menu said it was vegetarian. But when I bit into one, it had chicken all in there, and I nearly gagged.
Yes. And this was a problem because?
Lent, you idiot! Inspector, you can't eat meat on Friday, and my goodness, I feared for my soul, so I went straight away to confession to beg God's forgiveness. And you should too, you little meat-eating freak.
What can I tell you?
Well, Monsieur Havens...
Hans.
Exactly. My father's name as well. Now, you work between 8 p.m. and 2:30. Do you remember these two?
Look, Inspector Smith.
Smith.
Right, look. I get paid sometimes to, look the other way. If I go blabbing to you everyone's secrets, there goes my rent and those cute little outfits my girlfriend really looks good in.
Young man, someone was murdered. I think that comes before certain loyalties of seeing someone on Atkins eating chocolate.
You're right. I'm sorry. I do remember them leaving because they were having an argument.
There. That wasn't so hard, was it? Could you tell what they were arguing about?
I'm not positive, but I think it was about another guy. She said something like, well, he would.
You have been most helpful. Now, if you'll just get my car... I have cracked the case, mademoiselle.
Already? That's so fast.
Yes. I suppose you would have liked a bit more time, huh?
What?
It all came together for me with the last piece of evidence. Stanley did indeed leave your house last night, but it was closer to 12:30 than 2:30. You and he did not in fact go to the ocean or make love. You came directly here after leaving the club you Kuiper because you were arguing about another man. Poor Stanley would not cooperate with you, and you felt you had no other choice, so you and Woody killed him.
No, it's not true.
Oh, I think it is. We found a very interesting piece of DNA that will undoubtedly match the damage on Woody's leg. The only thing I don't know is what he wouldn't cover up.
All right. Stanley found out that Woody's stain ain't natural. As a hip-hop rap artist, that would ruin him.
And why do you care, Miss Barnes?
Because I still love him. If his career hadn't hit, we would have stayed together and carved out a life for ourselves.
Well, now the only thing you two will carve is a shiv. Take her away and have Woody, Mr. Hip-Hop, himself arrested. As a valet said, sometimes you can pay people to look the other way, but I retort that morality is a strong motivator.
Well done, Inspector.
Of course, I am in law enforcement.
Landed in jail doing something drastic. Pounded Stanley to the core, cut him to the plastic. Tried to have some fun at the club, you Kuiper, but Inspector got something in his big old diaper. Can't get an answer from my stupid lawyer. May have to pull a simple De La Hoya. Stanley didn't know how to hold a secret. Too bad now, cause he gotta keep it. When you up in my face, do you know what I say? That's bass. Dude, that's bass. Didn't want to go far, but I got no choice. I needs me a brand new luxury Royce. People say color ain't got nothing on clout, but if they hear I'm blonde, I'll give me only pout. I know I sound crazy, but I'm not insane. You can't change the layers of your natural grain. So if you want to talk about my stain, better understand you'll feel a world of pain. When you up in my face, do you know what I say? That's bass. Dude, that's bass. Keep it loose, man.